I do love this evening light.
Oh, I must tell Lord Merton.
Tease me if you will, but rest assured I don't want to be pursued by him or Lord anyone.
Well, it's a pity when he's asked me to help him in his courtship.
What?
He doesn't want to pester you, so he's asked if I could give another luncheon party.
Oh, dear.
Oh, now, why the lamentation? You don't have to see him if you don't want.
Well, you make it sound so easy.
There's nothing simpler than avoiding people you don't like. Avoiding one's friends, that's the real test.
But I do like him. I think he's very nice. It's just he wants something from me that I cannot give.
He just wants what all men want.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
I was referring to companionship, as I hope you were. Oh, what is it now, Spratt?
I'm sorry to bother your ladyship, especially when you have company. I'm afraid I must hand in my notice. I have suffered as much as anyone can expect to suffer in the course of their duties. I can take no more, my lady. I can take no more.
Typical Spratt. He's as touchy as a beauty losing her looks.
You don't think he meant it?
Well, if he did, he'd have given his notice quietly for a good reference in return. No, that is simply a demonstration of discontent.
So you'll forgive his outburst?
Anything rather than find a new butler.
Gracious, Mamma. It's not like you to meet a train.
My dear, I'm taking you straight to the house. We'll go back and change and return for dinner.
Do we know what time she left yesterday?
Oh, no, not precisely. The rest of us were at the point. We heard when we got back.
So what are we going to say now?
I've been awake the whole night. There's only one thing we can say. We have to tell Cora.
Well, isn't that rather a betrayal?
If anything happens to Edith and Cora learns later we knew all along, she would never forgive us. And I wouldn't blame her. You see, as a mother, it is her right.
But you don't plan to tell Robert. He is Edith's father.
He's a man. Men don't have rights.
Are you sure you wouldn't rather greet her in a room by yourself? We can always scoot back.
No. It will be easier not to be alone at first. I haven't seen her for 5 years. I want you all here.
The presence of strangers is our only guarantee of good behavior.
When you've finished your tea, we can walk the terraces if you like.
That sounds ideal.
As a matter of fact, I recently read a book on the science of quarantine, and I've been looking forward to discussing it with you.
We mustn't bore Lady Grantham.
Oh, you're right. You see, I need your guiding hand to keep me in check.
Mrs. Crawley is never happier than when she has a chance to use her guiding hand. Are you, dear? You look very serious.
Granny, do you think Lord Cinderby would try anything horrible to prevent the wedding?
Well, he'd certainly like it stopped.
But he does love Atticus.
My dear, love is a far more dangerous motive than dislike.
Hong Kong?
A lot of the Tsarist sympathizers ended up there.
How did they survive?
As servants and taxi drivers, milliners and prostitutes. Anything they could lay their hand to.
I will not suggest which of those callings the Princess Kuragin was most suited.
If you dislike her so much, why are you going to all this trouble?
Because I owe it to her.
Why?
By the way, Susan has written to Annabel to say that she's furious that you've all taken me in.
Oh, dear, Susan has been in a rage since she was playing with her dolls. I am proof against her tantrums.
I would rephrase that if you want to stay neutral.
I won't take sides, it's true. But I don't think I could ever be described as neutral.
What's the matter, Granny?
I was worried about Edith.
Oh, I can't think why.
My dear, a lack of compassion can be as vulgar as an excess of tears. I hope you're not too tired after your exertions.
Oh, my lady, I'm not tired, exactly.
Well, good. I'm glad if the wedding was a success.
Oh, the wedding was a success, yes?
Spratt, I have told you before, I do not appreciate a man of mystery. If you have something to say, say it.
I would, Your Ladyship, but it may not be quite right for me to tell.
Well, if that is the case, then do not say it. Do you have some other business?
Only that it may not be mine to tell, but it is in a way yours.
You're testing me, Spratt, and I warn you, being tested does not bring out the best in me.
No, Your Ladyship.
I will not repeat myself. Either impart this piece of information, if you can empower yourself to do so, or go.
Very well. I hope Lady Mary enjoyed her time in Liverpool.
What?
I was standing outside the Grand Hotel this morning, milady, when I saw her come out with her suitcases. She was accompanied by Lord Gillingham, who had clearly also been staying in the hotel.
Well, yes. They were both staying there. They were attending an informal conference of northern landowners. Lord Gillingham thought Lady Mary might derive some benefit from it.
So you knew about it?
Of course I did. Why, what did you imagine you were witnessing?
Well,
Oh, nothing vulgar, I hope. Nothing beneath the dignity of a butler of this house.
oh, nothing of that sort, milady.
I am glad to hear it. Now, if you would be good enough to let me drink my brandy in peace.
Your Ladyship.
I hope his arrival means you intend to make it public.
Darling Granny, you know how much I value your advice.
Which means you intend to ignore it.
The point is, I won't be hurried into anything. Not by you or by him.
But if you weren't certain, why on earth did you go to bed with him? Well, in my day, a lady was incapable of feeling physical attraction until she'd been instructed to do so by her mamma.
I don't believe that.
Seriously, my dear, you have to take control of your feelings before they take control of you.
Please.
Aunt Violet, if I can still call you Aunt Violet, I ought to warn you about something.
I can guess what it is.
You won't approve.
No, I don't.
You may even feel the need to take sides. Susan is your niece.
Well, I think you're making a serious mistake. But you may rest easy on that score. I never take sides in a broken marriage.
Why is that?
Because however much the couple may strive to be honest, no one is ever in possession of the facts.
To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
I'll get straight down to it. You know how Lord Merton likes to display his interest in all things medical. At least he likes to, when in the company of Mrs. Crawley.
Your confidence is a compliment.
I confide in you, Dr. Clarkson, because I must. Only you can help.
Well, that is more flattering still.
It's the family's fault, really. We've trained her in our ways, and the earnest intellectual bonne bourgeoise has been replaced by a rather less definable figure.
Are you saying that you liked her better when she was more middle class?
No, I wouldn't go that far.
But you understood her better?
Precisely. Now I do not know who she is. I do not know what it is she wants.
Well, there are many who wouldn't be much puzzled by the desire to marry a lord and live in a palace. Can I ask you a personal question?
I've lived through great wars and my share of grief. I think I can manage an impertinent question from a doctor.
Do you perhaps resent the idea of a change of position for Mrs. Crawley?
And so I do not quite grasp your question. It bewilders me. But I will say this. Do you wish to see her live a life devoid of industry and moral worth?
I do not.
And when the glitter is tarnished, you know what then? A hollow existence in a large and draughty house with a man who bores her to death.
It's a terrible prospect.
So our duty is clear.
I say.
What?
Some man has opened a nudist colony at Wickford in Essex. It's called the Manila Group.
What do you mean a man's opened a colony in Essex?
Not that sort of colony, Mamma. It's for people who want to take all their clothes off.
In Essex? Isn't it terribly damp?
Would that make a difference?
Well, yes, if you had no clothes on. Well, I think it's a mad idea.
Oh, I doubt they were aiming it at you.